us your thoughts, Ian.
What's your take to not even look at it?
Well, first, the anonymity issue is kind of a large one. However, I do think we did look into a few anonymous complaints in the past that had a blatant violation of some kind in them. And I say that because we have been known to, in the past, we had accepted phone calls as complaints. We didn't even require them all in writing. We were willing to accept a phone call. What I think is important is that the election board and the staff have as their goal administering fair and accurate elections. And that means even making decisions about complaints that are filed with the board. I think there is enough of a history that people know that if a frivolous complaint is made, it will either not be investigated because it is frivolous, or if there is an investigation, that the decision will be made that is fair for all parties involved. So while accepting anonymous complaints brings with it a little ability for people to open up Pandora's box, the fact that the board has, I gotta say, quite frankly, I was kind of surprised to see this on the agenda. In the past, this would have never made the agenda because it's outside the purview of the board.
Right.
So it never would have been on here. I think the history of the board is such that people respect the work of the board, and if the board says this is something that needs to be investigated, they will respect that decision and wait for the investigation to take place.
And that favor, your statement, in my opinion, favors a more case-by-case scenario.
It really does.
A blanket rule of.
It really
Which
does.
is kind of how we started out.
And I think that's how we kind of operated.
But they need very clear instructions when that piece of paper or the phone call hits their office. What do we, you know,
Well,
for us
historically, it's
what's our responsibility to the board?
Basically, in the past, Pam, when you got a complaint, you called me up and told me there was a complaint.
I called all.
Called all, yeah, but I'm telling you what I know.
Yeah, personally.
And there were times, I mean, you'd say this is a complaint, and I'd say that's not our jurisdiction, so
Yeah.
we don't care.
Yeah.
And
I
the way
think
it
that's
went.
right. I think in this case, we're dealing with a situation where it was how do we respond to this complaint? And in this case, probably we shouldn't have, one, at all responded, and two, we probably should have made a determination, which didn't need to be done at a board meeting, as just not in our jurisdiction. It's just, you don't have to. There's no one to tell it's not in our jurisdiction, so just file it appropriately.
And one of the challenges when people file inappropriately and they do so anonymously, the staff can't even say to them, "You need to file this in a different place."
Right.
Which is why, even if, and I'm pretty sure this has happened to me, you maybe remember better than I am. I think we had people who wanted to file anonymously, but they were at least willing to sort of hand deliver it and say, "I don't want my name on it." And we were then able to say, or the staff was able to say, "Here's how this will be handled," or "Here's how this won't be handled," based on the information given. And a lot of that is about the respect folks have for the board and the work of the board and the staff, quite frankly.
Well, there was a motion made and carried. Just good discussion, I think, for the future.
Right.
But is there any other
No, I think
discussion needed?
we'll continue on.